Yeah, just an incredible way to cap off a really, really cool regular season. We talked about it before the game. Playing a game on the last day of the year that has significance is a privilege, and just really enjoying that moment. We talked about it in here last night. I think he asked me a question like, "What does Miles need to do tomorrow?" And I said, "Go be Miles." And that's what you saw today. Like, this was not him trying to do extra. This was not him trying to feel like he had to do more. It was him extremely comfortable in his ability and what he can do, and just being elite. I mean, that is a scary lineup, and what an incredible job. And then obviously Bryce, like, when that dude plays the way he played, we don't lose, and that was an incredible game by him, setting the tone in the first with a really good at bat against Townsend and then coming around to score. So all in all, just an awesome game to finish the year, to finish the regular season. Now we kind of turn our attention, right? Like, we put ourselves in a position to go make a run in the SEC championship. So we got to get rested, recovered, and go send it Thursday night in Hoover.
Miles, biggest start of your collegiate career. If you guys need to win to secure top 4 seed, just what was working for you on the mound today?
I say just like command of my heater. That's just like the biggest thing. If I have that going, it's a lot easier to get guys out. Command of my heater, just mixing pitches for strikes, pretty much. I mean, any game really, you do those things, you put yourself in a good spot to be successful.
Hey, Coach, looking ahead to next week, ABS will be in effect for the SEC tournament only. Do you think that's good for the betterment of the sport?
Yeah, I mean, I think time will tell. To be honest with you, you guys know I was a little sick earlier this week, so I was not on the ABS call that they did. There's going to be some kinks to work out. There's no doubt, just like you see in anything. And there's going to be some emotional players that want to challenge stuff that's not, so we're going to have to navigate how to handle that a little bit. But, man, I think the one thing the umpires love instant replay, right? Because they say it all the time, like, it's about getting the call right, and they want that. So, to me, if it eliminates it, I think these umpires do, for the most part, an incredible job with the strike zone, especially some of these SEC guys. But I think the ones you might see is there's times where it's, you call a fastball in and you miss on the other side of the plate, but it's still on the plate, and that gets balled in college a lot, where maybe that helps you go grab a strike right there. I don't know. But ABS is going to give and take, man. It's going to give and take, so I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I love that the SEC is kind of on the cutting edge of trying to align ourselves a little bit with Major League Baseball and see if this is something we want to implement at a bigger level moving forward.
Miles, Bryce, as players, what are your thoughts about ABS?
I guess in a big moment or something like that, and it's, maybe it's a ball off, or I don't know, maybe it's clipping, who knows. I mean, I think it'll be good to just have it in your back pocket for sure in a big spot. That way, if something happens, then you can always head tap and hopefully it goes your way.
Bryce finished today with 3 hits. Kind of what were you seeing today at the plate?
Just honestly was just sitting off speed today. I've been getting a lot of it lately, so kind of flipped the script and came off the fastball today and went and hunted some off-speed pitches, and they threw a bunch of them today, and I just made sure that I didn't miss the ones that were hittable.
Miles, what were the conversations like between the 6th and 7th inning as you did go into your career-long outing?
Just keep going. Typically, when I'm rolling, I get stronger as I go on. JJ comes up to me and just says, keep on attacking the strike zone and try to finish it strong.
Coach, it's on the topic of new rules. Would you guys like to see you guys potentially add the 3-batter minimum rule or even the 2 disengagement rule to college baseball?
I don't care, to be honest with you. I mean, to me, there are things about that. I think anytime we align ourselves with Major League Baseball, I don't think that's a bad thing, right? This is the best amateur baseball outside of anything, right? And so I think the more we continue aligning ourselves with the Major League game, you look on both teams. I mean, we faced a big leaguer on the mound last night, right? The more all these guys running through here are going to have opportunities to go play in that one day. So the more we align with that, maybe the better. I don't feel super passionately one way or the other. Unfortunately, they don't call me and ask my opinion on it. So if it goes into play, we'll go adjust and do it. And if it doesn't, then we won't. But I think college baseball is in a really cool place right now. So very honestly, I'm all about kind of doing things that make it better, but let's not tinker too much with what's working pretty well.
Bryce, what does today mean for you? Closing out 3 straight SEC series wins, your last game, regular season game here.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I said it after the Auburn game. Like you come back for games like that, like it's all on the line. I mean, you're playing to potentially play at home in the postseason. That's huge. So especially after last year, you go to Southern Miss and you get to experience their atmosphere. Like you come here, like our atmosphere can get wild and loud. So it's always good to have your fans behind you. So I just think coming in today and we knew it was on the line. It's no secret. Like, if you can't, Coach Vaughn set up for the game, like, if you can't handle the big moments, then, we're going to be in a bind because it's nothing but big moments moving forward. So I think that was a good test for us today. We came out and handled business. Miles gave us a great start, and then Ashton came in and closed the door, and offense got the bats rolling after a shaky outing yesterday. But that was a big leaguer on the mound, so it happens. But all in all, I thought it was a good team win and moving in the right direction for sure.
Hey, Coach, we asked you before the season about the expectations with this team. Is there any pressure on them to get to Omaha? And you said no. That might be easier to say in February. Now we're in May. What gives you optimism? What have you learned the past 2 seasons in the postseason that gets you prepared for this year's run?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is as battle-tested group as we've had. Like, this group's been through some hard times, too. Like, don't forget, like, we lose the first game of the season. I mean, we're sitting I think we were in Texas, and we were sitting down talking to some of these older guys and kind of having that conversation, trying to find who we are and find what our identity is, and feeling like that kind of got shaken a little bit. And watching the journey these guys have been on, like, that's the most exciting part of this whole thing. Like, we're where we are at today because of those hard times, from getting swept at Kentucky, of going to have, 3 games against Arkansas here that you lose, and then going on the road and getting beat at Texas, going on the road and getting beat at Tennessee. That hardened us for kind of this stretch run here. And I think it humbled us in some ways too. Like, that's what this game will do, right? Like, the second you think you got it figured out, it'll punch you right in the face again. And college baseball is all about playing good at the right time. And I think all of that stuff has gotten us where we are today. And I wouldn't change one thing about the way the last 3 months have gone. And now we set ourselves up in a position, like I said, before we get to talking about Omaha and all this, you go set yourself in a position to go make a run in an SEC championship. And that tournament, and it can be done, but it is really hard to win when you play on Tuesday. Like, that's just a lot of baseball you got to play to get to Sunday. Like, you set yourselves up by kind of getting that double bye. You set yourselves up in a position to go get a couple wins and actually make a run at an SEC championship. And so we're going to try to be present, be where our feet are, and whoever we play Thursday night, try to be ready for them.
First error-free weekend since the Auburn weekend. What have you seen in growth in that area over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, so much of it with us. These guys can tell you, probably. To me, it's just like really the focus and attention to detail. I think Garrett Wood has done a really good job, along with some of our young guys, of kind of changing up some things that we were doing with our infielders, that we were just kind of saying, like, hey, we've been doing this for 4 months and it's not really working. We're not getting better at it. And I thought there were some plays that Brennan Holt made today that he made look easy that weren't. Was just him finding the right hop and executing. Play Jason Torres made at the end of the game right there. That is a hard play that he makes. We don't really practice the kick save there to Holt to lead off the ninth, but we'll take that. But, man, I thought guys just played clean baseball. They played hard. They played clean. And I told them, man, when they play with that fight and they play with that intensity and they play with that focus, you give yourself a chance against anybody. And that's what we're going to have to do the rest of the way. I mean, we're running out of second chances at this point. Well, we obviously had Hoover and make a run at, and then you kind of turn your attention to the postseason. Those second chances don't come back. So our focus, our attention to every tiny little thing is going to be paramount moving forward. And like I said, I think the struggles of this year at times have these guys ready for what's lying in front of them.
Miles, what's it do for you as a pitcher to have the defense playing clean behind you?
I mean, it's like you pitch with a lot of confidence when you know your defense is going to make a play for you. And also, like, even the offense, like, they come out early. And a lot of my starts, they come out early in the first inning and put up a number. So, I mean, it helps you pitch with a lead and pitch with some authority behind your stuff.
Hey, Coach, circling back to ABS, I don't want to offend any umpires or anything. Some have been good, some have been not so good. If we have a game where there's 15 overturned calls, do you think that could expose the umpires for, their shortcomings and lackluster?
Yeah, and I think obviously there's no doubt, like, some zones are probably a little more consistent than others, and that's part of the nature of what makes this game awesome, is the human element, right? I think they would be the first ones to tell you. I hope expose isn't maybe the term I would use. I hope what it does, it just helps them keep getting better. Like, I don't think these guys go into a game and are like, you know what, I'm going to call the ball 6 inches off today. These guys have real stuff, man. It is you got guys that are throwing the ball 100 miles an hour with slamming breaking balls, and catchers knows what's coming because they've got the headpiece. Those umpires are trying to make calls back there. So I don't think if I thought there was blatant, I'm going to go screw this team over, that then the word exposed I would use. For me, it's more just accountability. It's like those guys work really hard to be good at their craft. They do. And, man, I've competed in other leagues and I've done stuff. We do have the best of the best in this league. And so any shortcomings there may be to the zone, like I said, I don't think there's any intentionality behind it. So I hope it doesn't expose them. I hope it just continues to help them get better and better. And I think that's the goal of this whole thing. They don't want to make a call that's wrong that turns over the game. That's never their intention. And so if anything, this can just help them continue getting better, just like we're trying to do. And every umpire I've ever talked to, it's like, man, it's just all about getting the call right. It's not about me. And I'd anticipate them kind of viewing this the same way.
2 more questions.
Coach Jason Torres today had 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Just how important is it to get him going, here at the end of the season, going into the tournaments? Yeah,
you guys know how I feel about that guy, and that guy's taking some flack at times this year, and there was nobody more deserving in that moment than JT. And I thought the right move. You got Brady Neal up with first base open, right coming up. It's the right move to try to go get Jason there. But man, we actually constantly talked about. I got to give Coach Morrison credit. We were talking in the locker room about the lineup, and we knew kind of what we wanted to do. And he kind of looked at me. He's like, man, JT is just he took great swings yesterday. I don't know if he had much to show for it yesterday, but great swings yesterday. Just felt like he was seeing the ball really, really well. And 2 things was like, maybe let's get him in a position where it lets Eric get a little bit more, take a breath there in the 6th and get JT up in that big spot there. And so it was just such a cool moment we said it when he came up, it was like, this is the senior moment we've been waiting for with him, and to see him come through for it, like, it makes you, get you a little bit emotional in those moments, because it's like that kid cares so much, and he loves these guys so much, and he's emptied so much into this program. For him to step up in that moment and get that big hit was pretty special.